The Zarathi delegation stood at the edge of the containment field, their chitinous forms trembling despite their attempts at diplomatic composure. Ambassador Keltar's mandibles clicked nervously as he gestured toward the massive creature prowling within the energy barriers. "You must understand, Director Harrison," Keltar's translator rendered his words in crisp English. "This is the Void Stalker of Kepler 442b. It has eliminated 17 separate colonization attempts across 4 species. The beast is death incarnate, a perfect killing machine evolved in the harshest conditions imaginable." Director Sarah Harrison nodded, studying the creature through the reinforced observation window. The stalker was indeed magnificent in its lethality. 12 feet of corded muscle and midnight black carapace, with 6 eyes that glowed like molten copper and razor-sharp appendages that could slice through titanium alloy. Its very presence seemed to absorb light from the chamber. "The Galactic Council has spent 3 decades trying to contain it," continued Ambassador Keltar. "Our finest xenobiologists, the Altarian mind-shapers, even the synthetic intelligence, networks of the Concordia, all have failed. The creature responds only to violence with greater violence. It cannot be reasoned with, cannot be controlled." Dr. Elena Vasquez, the station's chief xenobiologist, pulled up holographic displays, showing the previous attempts. The hegemony tried neural suppressors. The stalker adapted within hours. The Zephyrians attempted chemical pacification. It developed immunity. The AI collective tried to interface directly with its nervous system and lost 3 nodes before retreating. Director Harrison watched as the creature suddenly froze, its head tilting as if sensing their observation, those burning eyes fixed on the window with an intelligence that was both alien and unmistakably predatory. "So why bring it to a human facility?" Harrison asked. "Because," Keltar's voice carried what sounded like resignation, "humanity is the only species that hasn't tried yet. The Council decided to give you one final opportunity before we jettison the creature into the nearest star." Harrison was about to respond when the station's intercom crackled to life. "Director Harrison, to the main bay, please. We have a situation." The delegation made their way through the corridors of Research Station Prometheus, past laboratories, where human scientists worked alongside their alien colleagues. As they walked, Keltar couldn't help but notice the casual way humans interacted with species that others found intimidating. A researcher chatting with a Corvan warrior while calibrating equipment, children from the station's families playing. With young Altarian empaths in the common areas. They arrived at the main bay to find Chief of Security Marcus Chen looking both exasperated and amused. "Sorry to interrupt, Director, but we have an unauthorized entry into the high security wing." "How is that possible?" Harrison demanded. "Well," Chen scratched his head. 8-year-old Lucy Martinez decided to take her pet hamster, Mr. Whiskers, on a space adventure. She somehow bypassed 3 security checkpoints. Apparently, she's been watching her mother's access codes and ended up in Containment Bay 7. The Zarathi delegation exchanged alarmed clicks. "The stalker's chamber." Keltar's voice pitched higher. "The child is dead. There's no other possibility." But Chen was shaking his head. "That's just it. She's not. In fact, well, you'd better see for yourself." The group hurried to the containment bay, where a crowd of personnel had gathered at the observation windows. Through the reinforced barrier, they witnessed something that defied every projection, every model, every assumption about the Void Stalker. The massive creature was lying on its side, perfectly still, while 8-year-old Lucy Martinez sat cross-legged beside it, gently stroking the area behind what might charitably be called its ears. Mr. Whiskers, the hamster, was perched on the creature's head, apparently grooming himself without a care in the world. "Buddy here was just lonely," Lucy was saying to the creature, her voice carrying through the intercom system. "That's what happens when you're scary-looking and everyone runs away. But I know you're not really mean, are you, buddy?" The Void. Stalker, the perfect killing machine, the terror of 4 species, the creature that had defied the combined efforts of the galaxy's greatest minds, made a sound that could only be described as a purr. Dr. Vasquez was frantically taking readings. "The creature's stress hormones have dropped by 90%. Brain activity suggests Contentment? Its aggressive pheromone production has ceased entirely. This is impossible, Keltar whispered. Our finest behavioral specialists probably tried to control it, interrupted Dr. James Wright, the station's child psychologist who had just arrived. Lucy didn't try to control anything. She saw a creature that was alone and scared, and she offered it friendship. Through the intercom, they could hear Lucy continuing her one-sided conversation. Everyone thinks you're dangerous because you're big and look different. That's silly. Mr. Whiskers looks different from me too, but he's my best friend. Do you want to be friends, buddy? The stalker lifted its great head and, with infinite gentleness, touched the child's hand with one of its smaller appendages, the same appendage that could slice through military armor. Humans, Ambassador Keltar said quietly, are either the bravest species in the galaxy or the most foolish. Director Harrison smiled. Sometimes there's not much difference between the two. Over the following hours, as xenobiologists and psychologists worked to understand what they were witnessing, Lucy continued to interact with Buddy. She shared her lunch with the creature. It politely declined, showed it pictures of Earth, animals, and explained the concept of friendship with the earnest clarity that only children possess. The breakthrough came when Dr. Wright realized what the previous attempts had missed. The stalker isn't just intelligent, it's emotionally complex. Every species tried to approach it as either a subject to be controlled or a problem to be solved. Lucy approached it as another living being deserving of kindness. By the end of the day, the Void Stalker of Kepler 442b had been officially redesignated as Buddy in the station records. The creature had demonstrated not only intelligence, but a capacity for emotional bonds that revolutionized xenobiological understanding. As the Zarathi delegation prepared to leave, Ambassador Keltar approached Director Harrison one final time. How do humans do it? How do you see friendship where others see only threats? Harrison looked through the window where Lucy was reading a story to Buddy, the massive creature listening with rapt attention. Maybe it's because we've all been the scary monster at some point. Maybe it's because we know that sometimes the scariest-looking creatures just need someone to believe they're worth knowing. Keltar's mandibles clicked thoughtfully. Perhaps that's why humanity was chosen to join the Galactic Council so quickly, despite being the youngest spacefaring species. You see potential where others see only problems. Or maybe, Harrison said with a smile, we're just too stubborn to accept that something can't be done until a child proves us wrong. As if on cue, Lucy's voice carried through the intercom. Tomorrow I'm going to teach Buddy how to play fetch. Mr. Whiskers is going to help. The sound that emerged from the containment chamber could only be described as the galaxy's most dangerous creature, laughing.